Welcome back to the NL Sports Platter. It's all brought to you by Arc of Onondaga and Burn Dairy. And there he is, the new head coach of the St. Bonaventure Bonnies men's basketball team, Mike MacDonald. Kind of join us for a few minutes. Mike, thank you so much for a couple. How are you?
Thanks for having me on, Mike. I appreciate it.
Let's start with just saying St. Bonaventure Bonnies head men's basketball coach. I mean, when that's said and then your name, how's that ring in your ears?
Little surreal, let's put it that way, right? A little bit different and surreal, but getting used to it without a doubt. I think I've only made one mistake when I was calling recruits or anybody where I started to say Mike MacDonald, the coach at St. Bonaventure, and I had to change. But after 12 years of being at Damon, you say something over and over for 12 years, you have to be really intentional about how you speak, and I think I've been pretty good about that.
No doubt. How about a little roster update as we've, kind of as we record here, a lot of alums follow my stuff and they want to kind of know who's there and kind of some inside stuff, some players and, how this thing's coming together. This NIL portal stuff, there's a lot of balls in the air. It's a wild, wild west now, Coach.
It is the wild, wild west. There are a lot of balls in the air. It's definitely different than it was back in the days when you were in school, without a doubt, Mike.
Yeah, no doubt. The roster update now, though, I mean, what do you like the most about it? How's it coming together? Can you throw us some?
Yeah, I think our staff has done a really good job of trying to dig in and find guys who really are about winning, about getting better, who want to compete for St. Bonaventure. And I think that awesome that we can do that. We have, we were able to retain 5 players from this past year. Which was good. We have do it quickly. Big Joe, who everybody knows, right? Joe Grohovac. Yep. Ilya and Achille are international European guards. Though Ilya is from Russia, so it's not really European, but we'll go with it. We have John Ekpakton, and then we have Jack DeRose, who was with us. So we have those 4 guys are going to be back, or those 5 guys, I should say, will be back. We've also gotten commitments from Akbar Wahid III, Baki, who was at Boston College, who redshirted this year at BC, and will have 4 years of eligibility. We have Taj Aduk, who is a point guard, who's a Canadian point guard. He's from Indian Hills in junior college in Iowa. Before that, he was at Pepperdine, and Taj has joined us. He actually played AAU basketball growing up for former Bonnie great Vidal Messiah, who I think was in school around the time you were in school.
He sure was. Yeah, I love Vidal's game. We're talking some hoops here with Mike MacDonald, the new head man at Bonaventure on the men's hoops side, brought to you by Burn Dairy and Arc of Onondaga. Make sure you go donate to the page at arcon.org. You know Bonaventure obviously very well for a lot of reasons. When you came back to take this job and walked into the Reilly Center for the first time since the last time, do you still get that, that the chills down the back about that place? And you see the court, you see the gym. Because I got to tell you, when I was a student and they used to win, Jimmy Barron was head coach then, and they used to have a huge upset win, I would walk back from Dev and I would just go up to the Reds and just sit there by myself for like 10 minutes and just look out at the court, and just things would just go through my mind. And it was one of my favorite parts as a student. I mean, do you have that feeling? You feel that way about certain places? Do you feel that way when you walk in?
It's incredible, right? What a special place that is. And yes, when I first walked in as a head coach, I'm like, holy crap, right? For lack of a better term. And you're right. What's really cool about the Reilly Center is that it's open a lot of times. So students could come in, sit up there, do homework, right? And just kind of watch and sit.
Or play hoops. I played hoops there and tore my ACL in that building.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Just think of the career you could have had without.
Come on. I mean, think about that. Think about the potential. Yeah, I had my eye poked in, 3 trips down the floor. I told my man, Chuck Fiegel, I said, look, if I can't play another couple times down, I went up for a layup. He threw me the ball. I made the layup, coach. I made the layup. And then I came down and just ripped the out of my right knee, and I didn't know it, and I was concentrating on my knee, and then later I found out, and it was a big mess. But it was just it's a special thing that you're right. You can go in there and it is open. You know, this alumni group is I mean, we're psychos. I mean, we love the Bounty. We are crazy. We criticize. We love. We ride the roller coaster. The alumni pages are bonkers on Facebook. People follow my recaps all the time. We treat this program like it's Duke. We treat it like it's Kentucky or Michigan State or Syracuse or name the next program, Kansas, whatever. There's a lot of pressure on you. Do you feel pressure? I mean, do you welcome pressure, feel pressure? Because you're a pretty laid back guy here. I mean, I'd be all wound up if I took this job.
Mike, you're wound up anyway. I could tell.
I am.
You're fired up, and you're on the other side of the camera.
Hey, I'm in sports media. I got to be crazy. I got to talk with my hands. I got to be verbal. You know, that's what they taught me 101 at Bonaventure, right? Come on.
That's right. No, I mean, you feel pressure. I feel responsibility, right? You feel a responsibility to the alumni. I think that passion that you talk about, right? That craziness, right? Whatever you want to phrase it, is the reason I'm at St. Bonaventure right now, because it would have been easy for me to stay at Damon. We had a good thing going. We were winning and we were rolling, and it would have been easy to stay there. That would have been the easy way, right? But to have a chance to be where people care so much and so deeply about a team, it's unique. It's unique, right? And you could say Duke, Kansas, the ones you talked about, yeah, there's no doubt. But I think this St. Bonaventure group is unique, and I think to me that's the challenge, that's the fun, that's the responsibility that we have, is to try and what I'm going to try and do is replicate and duplicate what we did at Damon and bring it down on a bigger level. But we know that I have a passionate fan base who cares deeply about the Bonnies, so I have to make sure that every day myself and my staff are passionate and care deeply about the Bonnies too.
I have two more quick ones for Mike MacDonald from the Bonnies here on the platter, brought to you by Burn Dairy and Arc of Onondaga. I heard Jerry McNamara talk about this with John Rothstein this week about how he wants to get Cuse back to the Garden. He wants to get them in that venue because it was so important for him, important for the brand, important for just, you know, SU to be in New York and going back to the days of the old Big East tournament. The Bonnies under Coach Schmidt and the Bonnies under Jim Barron and what they've been for the last 25 plus years, it's been a bigger mid-major brand. Do you have your eyes set on anything in particular for that brand? Growth, portal, NIL, places to play, cities to play in, teams to play, conferences to play. Do you have anything in your mind? We should do this to help this jersey, this logo, this school.
Yep. That's a good question. You know, I think there's a lot to be said. First of all, we'd love to play Coach McNamara at the Garden if you want us to play. If you can set that up, we'll be happy to go there and play.
I'll try.
I do think, like on a serious note, that we should play in Syracuse, right? We should have a game at the Dome in Syracuse. We should play a game in Rochester. I think we have to be in Buffalo every year. We have to know where the bulk of our alumni are, and I think that's real important for us to do that. So yes, I think you're going to have an Atlantic 10 schedule that's going to take us to Bonaventure hotbeds like the New York metropolitan area where when we play Fordham, or to Charlotte when we play Davidson. Trying to make sure we get to those spots every year, I think, is really important for us, and important for our alumni to be able to see the team that they love so much.
All right, 30 seconds to go. By the end of the first year as head coach, will you have eaten more meals at the Beef and Barrel, or will you have had more burgers at the Burton?
It's a good question. You know what? I had my first Burton burger about a week ago. My wife and I. Yeah, I never really had them. When I was in college, they didn't have a lot of food at the Burton.
You were on the TV.
There was other stuff, but I didn't know there was food as much. And it's changed a lot, right? And Brian Tia bought it, and it's been it's a special place. But it's at this time, I went and had one the other day. I've been at the Beef and Barrel a lot. We've taken some recruits there, so right now that's leading. But I don't know with at the end of my first year which will be ahead. I think probably be neck and neck if we're going to be with the Kentucky Derby coming up. We'll say neck and neck, and it's going to be a photo finish.
All right, but if I come down there and you take me to dinner, which one do you want to go to?
Where do you want to go?
We could flip a coin.
Yeah,
we could flip a coin.
We could just go to Angie's and make it, and balance it out.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, we could do Randy's Wings, whatever you want to do. It's probably we probably just name the Mount Rushmore of food down there, right?
That's right. That's right. It's I mentioned some of those places. I mentioned I've been at Angie's for dinner. We've been at the Beef and Barrel, get a Burtonburger. I put all those. I mentioned all that during my press conference, and somebody said, "Well, you mentioned these restaurants." I said, "I'm trying to get my own NIL deal. That's what I'm working on."
There you go. Well, he's the new Bonnie's head men's basketball coach, Mike MacDonald, on the platter, brought to you by Burn Dairy and Arc of Onondaga. Coach, thank you. Congratulations. Please send my best to everybody down in Olean and Allegheny, and we'll be staying in touch a lot, I'm sure, over the course of the next several months. Thank you a million for doing this.
Great, Mike. Anytime, and hope to see you down here pretty soon.